Back now on Triad today, and we always like to welcome this gentleman to the program. We don't get him here enough, but when we can, we do so. J. Paul, Director, we can meet our good friend Brent McKinney, who is Executive Director of PART. He has been a very busy man lately and will continue to be so. We're going to tell you why, but welcome again to the program, sir.
Thank you, Jim. Always glad to be with you.
Just as we speak, just a couple of days ago, you had your big meeting on Wednesday. The public was there. The press was there. There was rumblings that you were going to alter routes, change routes, cancel routes, add routes, talk about fees. Give me a summary of what happened.
All of that's true. Folks came. We had a good public hearing. The two main issues were adjustment to service in our routes and adjustment of our fares. We had a good public hearing. A lot of people came and spoke, and at the end of the day, they raised some good issues, and our board directed the staff to go back to the drawing board and take a look at these and see if we couldn't accommodate some of these additional transportation needs that were brought to our attention.
People basically wanted to make sure that their routes weren't cut out. Is that a simple way of putting it?
That's simply it, because there was no one who spoke against PART. There was a lot of very nice compliments about the service and the need for it.
They just wanted more service.
They wanted more service.
Right.
And in these times, we need to provide our resources, our bus trips, in those corridors where our ridership is the heaviest. So we were looking to make some adjustments, but we found that there's some real needs out there in getting people to their jobs, getting them to schools, and that's what they spoke about with a lot of passion.
Well, you can't just rely on state and federal grants and things like that. So at the end of the day, when the meeting was over, I mean, did the board say to you, hey, we need to say thus and so to the counties? What do you need to say to the counties in terms of what they need to try to contribute to keep PART sustainable so that people can get more services?
Our PART board did move on to the next issue, which is exactly that, the funding. In order for us to continue to provide services at a good level of service, we're going to need to turn to our own resources. And so the PART Board of Trustees passed a resolution asking that the counties in the region, 5 of our counties in the region, that they would consider the assessment of an annual license fee in the amount of $3.
When you're getting your driver's tag, right? The license
when you get
tag.
your driver's tag, it'd be collected through the DMV, and $3 of that would come to this region for public transportation.
See, that's not a lot to help do that. I think it's just important from an environmental standpoint, but also something we've never talked about on the show before. And you had emailed me one day and said, look, I want to talk about safety, saving lives. And I said, what do you mean, Brent? And I want to clear this up for people, because your contention is, and you've got facts to back it up, that the more we ride PART and use alternative forms of transportation, it saves lives. How so?
I'll give you the exact facts. Last year, the passengers that rode the PART buses did not drive 13 million miles on the roads. They were on a bus. If they'd been driving 13 million miles on the roadway, and at our accident rate of about 2.5 accidents per million vehicle miles, I think most of us can relate to that.
Right.
Our passengers would have had 31 accidents, and in those 31 accidents, at least 10 people would have been injured. They would have been scratched, they would have had something broken, they would have been unconscious. I don't know the extent, it could have been something worse, but we know from our accident rates,
right,
region-wide, that we would have had a minimum of 10 injuries and 31 accidents, and it's hard to measure and put a value on that.
Oh yeah, you just, all the things we want to do, which is to help the environment, and we want to try to get ourselves not so dependent on foreign oil, but now we've got the safety issue too, which I think is a good point to bring up. All right, quickly, before we run out of time, the summit. There's an upcoming summit. It's going to be, what month, May? And what is
May the 16th.
What's it going to be about?
Livability Summit, we talk about the triple bottom line. The triple comes from transportation, housing, and the environment. The relationship and how they impact one another. The location of homes with the jobs, and how do we transport ourselves, and the impact of emissions on our air quality and on the environment.
Now, this will be mainly for public officials, elected officials, planning directors, transportation managers. I mean,
all of those, and invitations will go out. Public will be invited. We're going to limit it to 300 people. We got some great speakers coming. Shelley Patish will be representing HUD. Okay. We've invited the Lieutenant Governor to represent the state.
What a fine guy.
Our lunch speaker will be Pat McCrory, the former mayor of Charlotte.
And he may be a candidate too. But it's not a political event, but we'll have to see. www.partnc.org is the website for more information on bus routes and everything else to keep current. And I'm sorry we're out of time, but we'll get you back again and talk some more.
Let's do.
Thank you.